Okay, Monday, 9th of June, 2025. So Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Money Monday, Bitcoin and everything else. Unit of account, medium of exchange are the next stages in hyperbitcoinization. Hyperbitcoinization, the process at which Bitcoin becomes ubiquitous and it becomes built-in standard in everything in the world. We could say we live in a internal combustion engine-ized world where that technology is not necessarily understood by the critical mass of people, how an engine works, but adopted by the critical mass, or in this case, the vast majority of people. They recognize that intuitively, not using the internal combustion engine, i.e. car, is a bad idea. Horses. A car is better than a horse. At least if you don't use the car, it doesn't take any fuel. If you don't use the horse, you have to feed it still. Fair enough. Now, it takes the critical mass of people, the key decision makers even, to be willing and interested in using Bitcoin in their industries and their fields of business. Steak and Shake is a good example recently. They started accepting it for payments. And I've said in a video on the 23rd of November, Monday 23rd November last year, 2024, that when Apple start accumulating Bitcoin, putting it on their balance sheet, one way they will accumulate it freely in a budget neutral way would be they'll have their own wallet in the Apple Pay wallet really, and they will collect fees from the transactions. Now, often people talk about unit of account or medium of exchange being the next debate now. It's an interesting mix. It has to be an interesting, evenly balanced out situation. It can't be truly savings account and all the rest neglected, but each of them will feed into the other. So it'll be rather balanced and one of those rising tide lift all boats kind of thing. It'll be a mix of awareness, understanding of the first principles, unit of account and appreciation over here. So your capital, your dollars and pound euros have increased. And at the same time, the infrastructure and willingness to spend it, maybe via loans or maybe directly at point of sale. So it'll be a whole mix of things. And as more people understand the first principles at a deep level or sufficient level, they will start using it as their unit of account with regards to their balance sheet, the corporate balance sheet. They'll start denominating their businesses, the products and services in the currency as well. It'll start off with, say, Tether or dollars in general, something stronger than the local currency that's got a nice global adoption and infrastructure, Tether, dollars, stable coins, and then slowly into something that's stronger. Again, it's that Schelling point of money. I did a video about this as well. Bitcoin's a Schelling point of money. So it'll be a nice balance of things. As people bought it at, say, 10,000, it appreciates to 50,000, 100,000, they got spare cash to spend. Oh, they can spend it here because the infrastructure allows it. Because the shop, who they want to buy food from, for example, they want to accumulate it as well. And one easy way they can accumulate it is by allowing it as a payment. Interesting. So it's a nice vicious feedback loop and they all feed off each other as this feedback loop, this flywheel of adoption increases and goes faster and faster. Fair enough. So it's that meme where Bitcoin's inevitable. Makes sense, but I don't quite like that meme because it sounds too standoffish and they'll sort it out themselves as opposed to proactive and going further. Now we can go one step further and deeper to say things will be priced in Bitcoin, which makes sense as well. You're in Argentina, you're going to price things in Argentine pesos or dollars. Whichever is the strongest currency because you want that one. The people who are in charge, in the know, for example, they're going to say, well, we want Bitcoin. We want to start accepting it. We think it's better store of value, store of our time than dollars or euros or pounds. So we're going to start valuing things and pricing things in Bitcoin. Makes sense. And I saw an interesting tweet about a business that does this in El Salvador. I saw some American healthcare company that does the same thing as well. They start valuing things in Bitcoin and Satoshis natively, automatically, by default, by standard. I guess this is what 21 Capital is going to do, XX1. XXI.money. They're going to start doing that. Bitcoin native business. Just how we have digital natives, people who are born into a digital world and knew nothing else, we will see people born today, people born next week, next month, next year, they'll be Bitcoin natives, so that in 20 years from now, 25 years, 18 years, even 15 years from now, they'll know nothing but Bitcoin. They'll be on a Bitcoin standard, depending on their upbringing, by default. So as we ease into this world, they'll be born into it. Fair enough. And it'll be a rising tide that lifts all boat kind of situation. As more people understand it, they'll be willing to put it on their balance sheet, and they'll be willing to accept it as a payment. And you realise, you bought it at 10,000, it appreciates in price, you'll be more willing to spend it. That's powerful stuff. So it'll be everything all at the same time, gradually over here, gradually over there. And as more people in the know start to use it in their business, it's off to the races. It'll hit a critical point, it'll hit an inflection point anytime now, and just more businesses, probably in the next 5 years. I imagine 3 as a minimum. 1 year, a bare bones a minimum, easily a year, 12 months from now. Because 12 months from now, we'll see hundreds, if not 1,000 or 2 or 3, companies accepting it. Companies buying it to put on their balance sheet. Because then they will have this asset and they'll think, well, it's appreciating in price. We don't want to sell it. We could loan it out and get a yield on it. Sure, but that introduces third-party risk. That defeats the ethos of Bitcoin. How can we accumulate more Bitcoin without spending money? Or how can we accumulate more? What can we do with this? Well, one thing they can do to get an advantage and to accumulate more is have it as a way to accept payments. Interesting. As well as they're buying it in general. Fair enough. And then they're going to think, well, what can we do with this? Now, of course, lending it out and whatever else. Sure, but that's the next question as well. Everyone's got all this Bitcoin, and this is easily 5, 10, 15 years from now. They have all this Bitcoin. It's worth billions and billions of dollars because the price of Bitcoin is $500,000, $1 million. Amazing, great. What can I do with this? I could use it as collateral and loan to buy more stuff, my suppliers, payroll, etc. Yeah, but if they are willing to accept it and they're willing to get paid in Bitcoin, then why bother with the third-party banks? So just go direct on the Lightning or on the base chain and give it to them directly. Especially as more people are willing and interested to be paid in Bitcoin. Interesting. Why would they be willing to be paid in Bitcoin? Because they understand it more. They started saving their time and energy in Bitcoin. They're on their own Bitcoin standard in a way. Yeah, they have put it on their own personal balance sheet. Getting paid in it's better than getting paid in dollars, having to transfer it and convert it and buy Bitcoin. Or just cut the middleman out, just pay me in Bitcoin straight away. So it's going to be this. It's this feedback loop. It's this, again, rising tide that lifts all boats. It'll be a little over here, a little over there, just all at the same time. And even though one will get ahead temporarily, it'll help push the other ones up to catch up. Over here, then pushing up, bit by bit. Easily 15 years from now, it'll be a complete different landscape and infrastructure and scenario. Easily. 30 years from now, today will look like the caveman ages. Guaranteed. Basically guaranteed. I did a video about this as well, predicting the future and 3 ways to predict it. And one of them will be that. Another way to look at it is whatever you'd think about, whatever you imagine today is unbelievable. And, I wouldn't believe you, so to speak. If you told me X will be a thing 30 years from now, I wouldn't believe you. That's probably going to be the case. So we'll probably even see energy denominated in Bitcoin. Now, I don't know much about that, but that's going to be way in the future with miners, energy production, solar farm. I don't know exactly, but energy producers will be denominating their energy kilowatt, Bitcoin per kilowatt hour, something like that, easily. But that's easily 15 years in the future. Reasonably. Maybe 10, 7, a little bit of a push, 5, maybe 3, unlikely. But nonetheless, even that's on the horizon. So, unit of account and unit of thing of exchange is on its way, bit by bit. A little over here, a little over there. And the critical mass of people don't need to get Bitcoin, just the key decision makers. Make it happen. Boom. And as more people are exposed to it, the flywheel of adoption accelerates. Wow. That's all that can be said. Wow. So bit by bit. Against that meme, Bitcoin is inevitable. It's inevitable, but I don't really like it because, it sounds too standoffish. It sounds too lazy. Oh, it'll happen. It'll just happen. I prefer to be more proactive. But yes. Wow. That's all that can be said. Wow. But otherwise, Adrian's Daily Vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.